Now, the next domain in the total product is the augmented product. And this is the 13th donut in a baker's dozen. This is where you get beyond their expectations and into the wow category. On Monday, when we arrived here, Heather and I went to tour a company based right here in Las Vegas, right down the road in Henderson, Zappos. Who here has bought shoes? Ladies, everybody shoes on Zappos.com? Great company, incredible, amazing. At a very minimum, I mean, this company is the new model. I think they're going to bump Nordstrom's as the new model for the gold standard and exceptional customer service. In 10 years in business, they just passed the $1 billion in sales mark to date. A $1 billion company, and their whole operation is built on 10 core values. And value number one on the list is wow the customer at every opportunity. Wow the customer at every opportunity. Number 3 on the list was create fun and a little weirdness. You know, and for about $45, they'll send a van to your door. They'll pick you up. You can take you down there. They'll give you the whole tour, introduce you to the management team, walk you through the whole facility, answer all your questions. They'll show you everything. It's very, very worthwhile if you get a chance to do that. Go see their operation. A lot of good lessons to be learned from them. And one of the things that I took away is that these guys, you know, how many people sell shoes on the internet? You know, hundreds. But these guys in 10 years have come to absolutely dominate that category. And they are not the cheapest. More often than not, you can buy the same shoes down the street at a brick and mortar retailer. So we want to look for ways to augment the product. And there's lots of ways that you can do that. A customer will pay more. If you turn to the next page in your handout, there's a checklist there. I'm just going to go through these real quick so you can check off the ones that you might be able to use to justify your pricing. People will pay more for quality. Of course, that goes without saying. They will pay more for authenticity, the real deal, the genuine article. You know, can you use inkjet technology to print directly onto leather? Wouldn't that be nice? Right? For a customer like Harley Davidson would be a typical example. They will pay more for stability. How long have you been in business? Do you tell that story? Have you been around, you know, for 40 years, third generation family-owned company, all of that. They will pay more for reliability. So you want to demonstrate that they can rely on you to return your phone calls, for example. Do you show up for appointments exactly on time? That's part of your marketing. It sends a message that they can depend on you. They'll pay more for social or ecological values. One of the people that I met on the floor yesterday, we had a really interesting conversation about what's happening with the price of paper. Price of paper has gone up twice now this year, more than a 10% increase. And a lot of that is being driven by demand from China. China is buying up a lot of our scrap paper. They put it on these factory ships, and in the 3 weeks it takes them to go from Los Angeles to Singapore, they remanufacture the recycled paper into new pulp, into new finished paper by the time they get there. And they're doing this out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, where there are, by the way, no environmental controls. They're just dumping all this crap overboard. And God knows what that's doing to the planet. That's a whole nother story. Don't get me started. But Stephen Loudon, his company is Tri-Cell Tri-Panel, and they make this corrugated product that is like hard as plywood. If there was a karate expert in the room, we could have him try to break that thing. And he gets a 25% premium for his product over and above the next competitor of his right down the road. A 25, because he sells this whole story. You know, it's 85% recycled content, 100% recyclable, and it's more durable than foam core at about the same price. You can make structural items out of it. It'll support, you know, canned goods, that kind of stuff. You print on it, very nice, and it's very, very, very green. 85% of American consumers said that they would pay a premium of up to 40% to buy green products. So make that part of your story. Print the little triangle in the corner of every item that goes out your door. You know, and of course, ask your customer for permission. And I would be shocked if they object. So that you become part of this ecological sensitivity. Customers will pay more to deal with knowledgeable salespeople. Have you ever done a business or you've been in a retail store where the guy behind the counter has to ask a question like, Mr. Colton, do we stand behind our products? I don't, to train these people. They will pay more for your reputation. They will pay more for partnership. If you can work some kind of joint venture with them. They will pay more for consistency. McDonald's, about 25 years ago, have you noticed that their French fries are pretty much exactly the same no matter where you go in the world? That's because 25 years ago, they engaged a company in Idaho, R.J. Simplot and Company, to genetically engineer a new potato. It's called the Burbank Russet. And this potato it now accounts for about 75% of all the potatoes consumed in the United States. And it has the perfect combination of moisture and sugar and length, the way that it cuts, the way it fries up. Because McDonald's has built a lot of their business model around this obsessiveness for consistency. And you know what? They've done the same thing to their restrooms. No, they didn't genetically engineer restrooms. Who is the customer at McDonald's, typically? No, kids can't drive to McDonald's. Who's mothers of young children? And those of you who are moms and you have young children, what are we always looking for? A clean restroom to change the baby, right? So McDonald's a number of years ago, they figured that they got this information from their own customers. Customer says, boy, wouldn't it be nice if we could count on you to always have clean restrooms. If they were as consistent as your French fries, we'd go there all the time. Now they check their restrooms every 15 minutes in every restaurant, everywhere in the world. Consistency. And people pay more for that. People will pay more for customization. And this is an area where you can blow them right out of the water every time. Using some of the technologies now, say with data-driven, variable data products, where you can very quickly print a set of room keys or signs for an apartment building that are serially numbered, or parking permits, or, well, you know more about your products than I do. This ability to combine digital technology and inkjet printing to create one-of-a-kind custom items and products for customers. It's huge, and you can charge more for that. They will pay more for authority. We just gave an award this morning to a colleague of yours who has been writing articles their whole career. Can you do that? Can you write articles for your local newspaper, for the trade magazines that serve this industry? Just go across the hall, introduce yourself to the guys in the press room. If you have an idea for an article, they would love to talk to you about a submission, and now you become an authority in your business. They'll pay more for popular items, like the iPhone, probably the most influential, the most amazing product introduction in the last 50 years. And they sold more than 1 million iPads the first week, Apple has done. So, popular products. They'll pay more for exclusivity. They'll pay more for products they can't get anywhere else. They'll pay more for scarcity. So, are you the only vendor in your market that can print on aluminum? Or who's willing to take on a project to print, say, directly on glass or other scarce materials. They'll pay more for disposal. Who's going to take care of your old mattress, your old tires, your old computer, and recycle it in a responsible way? Can you offer that service as an extension to your customers? They'll pay more for innovation. They'll pay more for miniaturization. Can we make it smaller? They will also pay more for ruggedization. So instead of just selling them, say, banners made out of calendared vinyl, maybe a more durable material like Gator is going to work better for them and hold up longer. Or maybe talk to them about engraved metal signs or other kinds of items that they can reuse year after year after year if that's appropriate for them. They will pay more for availability because they want it when? Yesterday, yeah, so if you can deliver it now, they'll pay more for delivery. This is how FedEx stays in business when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. They'll pay more for expediting. So if when they hit you with a rush at the last minute, do you charge for that? Make sure you do. They'll pay more for flexibility. I had a great conversation yesterday with, I can't read on this shiny, Jody from FlexCon. Are you here, Jody? She was saying, Flexcon, they supply mostly engineered film stocks to your industry. Their competitors would be Avery or 3M, but you can call Jody and they can engineer a product for you that's going to get the job done, and their minimum is 500 square feet. And that's their secret sauce. That's how they compete with the big guys, by giving you flexibility when you need something special in small quantities. They'll pay more for financing. They'll pay more for advanced technology. They'll pay more for a product that arrives in perfect condition. So if you have to ship it, make sure that it's crated correctly. Check, make sure when it's uncrated that their POS materials aren't damaged or broken or dented. They will pay more for problems to be fixed quickly. Like this guy here, the pest control guy says, you really should have called me sooner. This guy has a mouse problem. No, this is Las Vegas, I guess. Everybody has a swimming pool here. They will pay more for products that are environmentally friendly. And I already told you about Steve Loudon's products there at Tricell. Another great example that was given to me by Lynn Kinsey and her shop, Stella Color in Seattle. A big splash page on their website. We're certifiably green. They were the first SGP certified printer in Washington State. And this SGP certification is not just using recycled paper. To get that certification, they have to monitor their waste stream. They have to document and verify how much tonnage they recycle every month. They look at installing energy savings to reduce their electricity consumption. There's a whole bunch of parameters that go. She said she had no idea what she was getting into. It was a lot of work, but in the long run, it's actually saved her a lot of money. Boy, and in these tough times, where every dime, that you can bring to the bottom line counts, being green counts double for her and her business. They'll pay more to benefit a third party. That's why we pay $4 a box for Girl Scout cookies. And they'll pay more for local sourcing. 82% of businesses surveyed said that they have consciously supported local or neighborhood businesses. So, encourage your customers. Buy local. It'll cost a little bit more, but that's why we're here to serve you. You don't have to send it off to New York or LA or Atlanta to get it done. They'll pay more for prestige brands. And they'll pay more to do business with a referral. So if you have a customer who has referred you to another prospect, that prospect will pay a premium to buy from you just because of the confidence that's transferred over in that relationship. They'll pay more for reduced liability. Maybe you've seen this in the news recently, the latest Chinese toy recall. This is, what is their application? They can't have toxic inks or fumes or food service issues or whatever. Make sure you cover all of that. They'll pay more to avoid those problems. And you know what? They'll also pay more to do business with someone who's more fun to do business with. So, check off how many of these can you add to the expected product to augment what you're offering. Many of these things are probably things that you're already doing already. You're just not taking credit for it. You're not building it into your pricing, and you absolutely should. It's not rocket science. Do the math, then sell the total product. Tell the whole story.